2021, I think it was 12.8 million views or whatever, and now I'm gunning for about 800,000. And I would say number one, when you're advocating for SDRs, there's a lot of SDRs out there. There's a lot of SDRs who are looking for advice. The same token, there's a lot of SDRs who are never going to really do anything. They spend a lot of their day on LinkedIn, quoting gurus, blaming gurus for why they can or can't succeed, right? But that's part of the territory. And I think the second I stepped away from that and came into content-led selling, when there is no SDR, it is a system. I no longer use the words SDR. I don't really talk to them because we're talking to founders, and they may choose to deploy SDRs. We have 3 companies who have SDRs, and we work with them, but we don't require it. And that's the difference. Is I used to have an agency where we were only SDRs, and now if someone wants to use an SDR, I might say, well, why would you want to do that? I mean, I think it's a great idea if it makes sense. A lot of times it doesn't make sense. You might have one person instead of what used to be 4 or 5 that you can plug into our system. And if they're really good with direction, they can turn a lot of this stuff, whether it's their CEO's content or their community or the podcast, they can prospect differently than when they had to pick up the phone and email people one by one. So I think that position is still there. It's just changed indefinitely into a person who sources business for the company, call it business development. And I think that's going to happen in a lot of different forms. And whether or not that has the title SDR or spending $20K a month, it will look the same on the outside.